What's the haps? I'm John, aka Meroka, and welcome to Spiel. So first up, I need to feed this damn cat, because I always do, because he's always hungry. I've also got this thing to heat up, but I don't have enough crystals. Freaking crystals, man! Freaking crystals. These radiants should be reasonably easy to get, and it's kind of level 9. I think this actually requires like 100 crystals to get it to level 10, which is just crazy sauce, but it's like, it'll be finished. Totally 100% finished when it's done, so I guess that's a reasonable ask, kind of. It's pretty steep actually, it's not that reasonable, but will also come with a helmet power increase, so hooray, wonderful. But we knew that, because that's just how heat has always worked. Never needed crystals before, man. Fucking ripping me off. So, food. You must eat food. What have I got that's available for him to eat? I'm not seeing a lot of abundant 5-star items. Very kindly, Mr. Skyscythe did drop a bunch of divine stones on me this week, so thank you to him. That's really cool. Liking that. He's gonna eat through them in no time, but nonetheless, thank you anyway. So let me feed him the 4-star items, because they're not totally unfeasible as a thing to feed him at the moment. I gather once you pass level 50, it's actually more practical to feed them for the preferred food than any actual items, so at that point, that's okay, he's full. At that point, she's got to grind a lot of crystals or buy them all off the auction house, I guess. That's going to get expensive real fast. But hey ho. Anyway, as you saw, yeah, he's up to 42. Hooray! 42. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic. 42. So yeah, green level, because I fancied going easy mode. Although it's on advanced, so not totally easy. Give myself a little bit of a challenge, but not a lot of a challenge. Just a little bit. So yeah. So I'm rather expecting Alex, the guild leader, to interrupt this at some point today, because he kind of promised he would, and holy mackerel! I really need to pay attention to what the heck's shooting me to death. And it's a guy with a rocket, isn't it? Jeez, that's what's got me. Okay, are they all rocket? No, the other guys aren't rockets. Youch! Damn rockets, man! Let's keep an eye out for them! Holy Moses! I just wasn't paying attention. So yeah, Alex is going to probably interrupt. He threatened to do so. Oh no! Because I may have slightly insulted his sexual prowess over the weekend. Eee! So, hi Alex, when Alex inevitably bombs my video. So, yeah, guild stuff. Yeah, I kind of got back into guild chat, I guess, over the weekend. I don't know. I haven't done much in the guild in a long time. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, I'm hanging out with the guys. This is refreshing. So, hello, guild. I like the guild. So, yeah, Spiral Knights news is another thing. I'm all over the place, aren't I? How do I open? Oh, how do I open that? Is like this. Yeah, Spiral Knights news, that's a thing. I did patch notes last week, and then there was another patch on the Thursday, which I totally didn't do because I was out on Thursday evening. I didn't find out until like midnight, and then I had obviously traditional button mash meeting is Friday evening, so I couldn't go out then. By the time I got around to it, I had an opportunity to do so. It was halfway through the weekend. And by that point, the patch had been out 3 days. I was like, "What's the bleeding point? Why even bother?" So I'll give it a quick recap here. But it's been out for best part of a week. You probably know this by now. So pets are now available to buy. If you have maxed your pet, and I have not, but if you have, and some people have, actually a surprising amount of people have, given the astonishing grind that it entails. But fair few people have, at which point, obviously, 3 rings are not getting any more money out of you. I heard something going on. Is something Just heard a ding of some sort, like there was an enemy around. I don't know. So yeah, obviously the 3 rings aren't getting their any resources out of you anymore because you've maxed your pets, so you're not going to be spending all your resources. So why not buy another pet so that they can get some more money out of you? That's a very cynical viewpoint, I think. But you know, if you want another pet or if you're unhappy with your choice, the low price of 1,900 energy, which is I gather 10% off, so that works out at a little over 2,000. That's going to be a really weird number if that's 10% off. So if it were 2,000, 10% off would be 1,800. So it must be a little over 2,000 they're going to retail for. And up until the 8th of September, it's now going to be 1,900 energy. So if you're in the market for one, or are very, very soon going to be in the market for one, it's probably in your interest to pick it up now. I'm level 42, I'm not in the market for one, neither am I going to be in the market for one anytime soon. I'm gonna let that slide, I think. Although every time there's a sale, I do get people telling me, oh, you should buy this, you should buy this. I mean, the Ultimate Evo Catalysts were on, like, 10% off or something for a little while. And I was told, oh, well, you're going to need 3 of them, so you might as well buy 2. And, yeah, I get that. I also missed the sale by the time I actually got around to deciding that that was what I would do. I had missed the sale, so nuts to it. But again, I'm not going to need one until my pet is level 95. I've got one, so that'll do for the level 90. I'm not going to actually need another till I hit 95, so meh, I'll buy it when I need it, you know. In other news, Eternal Orbs of Alchemy have been dropping quite a lot this week for me. I don't know why. I don't really need them that often, but hey-ho, won't complain. And the other thing is these gourmet prize boxes contains various unique costumes and weapons used by battle chefs. So Biscotti, the battle chef, is now selling things. I'm really tempted to buy one. That I don't actually think they look particularly great, but I honestly think sort of as an investment, they would probably retail for more than 2,600 energy once they're off the market. Whether they'll be on the market again or not, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know whether to treat it like a Rose Regalia or something. Is this going to be a one-time only, never again, or maybe we'll do it again in different colours in a few months' time? Or how's this going to go down? How's this going to play out? That's what I want to know. If they're going to be available again in a few months' time, well, there's not really a lot of point buying one now because they're just going to go down in price. If they're going to be available again later in different colours, well, they're going to retain most of their value. I mean, check out the Rose Regalia. Or they might just be available again on a fairly regular basis, and there's no point having them whatsoever. I mean, I got lucky in that I had a blue chapeau and hung on to it for over a year before selling it, and it was worth a friggin' fortune. I really can't figure out where this one's going. I want to say it's going to be a one-off only thing. It feels like it could potentially be a one-off only thing, just because it's unique armor. It's not just the traditional, here we've recolored some stuff, give us your money for it. It's, here's some actual new cosmetic items. I'm not particularly a massive fan of them myself. I'm certainly not going to swap out the chapeau for a chef's hat, let's be honest. I've been wearing this thing since the dawn of time. I've been wearing this thing since the promotion was on. I ain't taking it off. It ain't going anywhere. And the coat, I really love the Skulver coat. What can I say? It's a beautiful coat. And the Battle Chef outfit's not quite as beautiful. It's not a bad coat. It's quite a nice coat. It's just not a Skulver coat is all it is. And I should probably make some space for one of these. Can I... Do you, Frost Vial? I don't need you. Open Sesame? Yeah. The thing is, there are some cosmetic changes that you can basically get a Triglav or Sudaruska out of those as well. There's just a chance of just getting a 5-star item straight off the bats. That's pretty cool. That's kind of tempting. I mean, I don't know whether I've never much cared for the heavy swords whenever I've tried my hand at them in the past. I mean, I do have somewhere in my inventory, there is lounging around a Divine Avenger, which is never ever going to get seen use ever again because I got my Voltage, and I like my Voltage. I like a nice moderate paced weapon. Ouch, you guys. Leave my shield alone, bro. Don't make me stab you in the face. Oh! Damn it! Get down. And you. I should have catted them. Would have Would have hopefully made them drop hearts, if nothing else. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. And also they are probably... I haven't actually checked the market price on the cleavers, which is what the swords are, but I reckon they're going for a fair bit. 2,600 was it? 2,600 or 2,800, whatever it was. I did the maths earlier in the week. It works out at, they're about 200,000 crowns out. Let's pop a pill, because I don't have an emergency revive. And while we're at it, Cat, can you just make sure everyone's nice and healthy for me? And no, wrong weapon for the wrong guy there. Okay, so you're broken, you're stabbed, and you're stabbed. Give me hearts. That's not enough hearts. Damn it. Anyway, yeah. Tempting. Some of the items are selling. Some of the items are selling for like less than 200,000, and some of them are selling for a bit more, I think. Although I have no way of, that's the buyout prices that are listed for, so I have no way of actually judging whether any of those are actually selling, really. I should probably troll the forums to get a better idea of actual price rather than just looking at Auction House. Auction House is a pretty poor way to gauge the price of any high value item, just because high value trading, it doesn't tend to be done through the Auction House. That's just the way that goes. But I honestly feel like those swords are probably worth picking up and just hanging on to for 2-3 months and seeing what someone's willing to pay for them then. Because I think it'll be a bit. Anyway, maybe at the end of this video I shall pick one up and then we get to open a lockbox together. That'll be exciting, right? Also, I sold a bunch of TF2 hats a few weeks ago, and one of them was a high level, which is only a cosmetic thing, and the levels make no difference in TF2. But because it was a level 100 hat, it was sold for £5. I just sold a bunch of pixels for £5, so now I've got that sitting in my Steam wallet, and I'm like, hang on, £5? £5 for a hat that I can then just trade for stuff that I actually like in TF2? Not TF2, trade stuff that I don't like in TF2 for stuff I like in Spiral Knights. You. Down. Everyone else, get Polarised. So that seems like a pretty good deal to me. I guess he thought he was getting a pretty good deal getting this rare high-level blue hat for like £5, but... And he probably was. I don't know the TF2 market. All I know is I'd sort of marked it at like 4 times the price of all the other ones that weren't level 100 and just thought, you know, let's see how this goes. It's sold! Interesting, there's a games journalist I follow on Twitter called Cassandra Core, and she's done a lot of research recently into trading within Dota 2, and she tweeted earlier today that she's started trying her hand at actually trading herself. Within the first day alone, she's made $60. God damn! How'd you do that? I want to know how you do that! I mean, assuming this is sort of in-game, in the Steam market, I guess that's 60... In the real world, you'd be getting $60 worth of real money, which is nice enough and probably enough to make a... Not a great living off of, but enough to make a living off of. Potentially. Work out about $1,000 a month. Could you live off that? I don't know how that works out. I mean... That would in real money that'd be about £600 a month, I guess. Which, if you had a cheap place to live and kept your expenditure to a minimum, you could live off that. So you could live off, yeah. That's not bad. But even if one did all the trading entirely within Steam, you're still looking at $60 worth of Steam credit a day. Hello. Buying all the games. Again, doing a sort of rough currency conversion, about £40. That's one full brand new AAA title every single day just for playing Dota 2. That said, I don't know how much work actually went into getting that £40. So, yeah, she might have actually had to sit and, you know, work for like 8 hours to get that. So it might be the equivalent of doing a full-time job for little reward and getting paid in Steam Mickey Mouse money that can only be traded for video games. So You know, it might not be a particularly great proposition. Although if you get good at it, obviously you have the potential there to make thousands, because people do, which is the crazy thing about online trading these days. So I don't know. It's a fascinating subject, but I just don't think I have the aptitude for it. I feel massively guilty. I would feel guilty. I can't say I've ever tried it, but I would feel massively guilty if I was like scamming people or lowballing people. And that's kind of how people actually do mostly make a lot of money out of it. Is they just say, "Hey, your hat's worth £1. Can I buy it from you for £1?" And it turns out their hat's actually worth £10. And then someone gets a really rare hat, and they say, "Hey, your hat's quite rare. Can I buy it from you from £50?" And they go, "Oh, really? My hat's quite rare." And you're just preying on the unsuspecting. And oh, ha ha ha! Joke's on you. Your hat was actually worth £500, but they didn't tell you that. And now well, I suppose you feel like you got a good deal because you just sold a bunch of pixels for £50, but they're laughing all the way to the bank. So. Weird old world. It's very, very weird old world, and for that kind of money, it's something I'd like to get into, just for the sheer crazy profit that could be made from it. But I feel like you would have to have very, very much an aptitude for economics, or I don't know if it's economics or gambling, which is more appropriate. There's definitely an element of luck. Prices go up and down, so it's like a stock market. And yeah, I don't know. It's like I say, there is an element of luck, but again, the stock market is played professionally by people for a lot of money. And it's not treated by them like gambling. It's an art. They learn how to do it and do it well, so they can make money out of it. And I think a lot of that is potentially some degree of economics as well. And I have no aptitude for economics. Economics is the most boring thing in the world. Money, I know. There's a reason I don't get paid much, because I can't negotiate. No, I've no head for. I do have a head for figures. I just don't have a head for money, because it's really, really dry and boring generally. Not my cup of tea. If someone sort of offered up some sort of quick start, here's how you make money really easy. I hope that's what Cassandra's going to do. If someone did that, yeah, I might have a dabble. But I always feel like there's a bit of an initial investment in these sort of things, and it's like at that point it does feel like gambling, because it's like, oh yeah, well, you can make money out of it, but you gotta invest in the initial resources to begin with. You can't just start getting stuff for nothing. You need to begin by spending like £50 on keys, and then trading keys for items and stuff like that. And I think that's pretty much how it works. And it's like, yeah, but yeah, what if it doesn't work? Then I'm kind of down £50. I don't really want to try that. It don't work. Which is, I guess, yeah, a lot of economics, especially high level, is gambling, and that's what that is. Yeah, you have to be prepared to take the risks in order to win big, I guess. Not my style. Play it safe. Do it easy. Nah. Every time they add stuff like the cards, I'm like, oh well, surely there's ways to game the system and get money out of that. And I've got like a couple of quid out of cards that I didn't want or didn't need, and I've just traded those away to people for a few pence. Something you can do, and then you can use that for a few pence off the next game you buy, or save the pennies up and buy a little bit of energy in Spiral Knights, I guess. And that's actually what that's where I started with that discussion, wasn't it? It was buying things in Spiral Knights. What I'm tempted to spend my newfound £10 in the game on. Now, this is where that vacuum should come in handy. Come on, vacuum. There we go. I don't have to stand in thorns. Good. So what that comes down to is I kind of want to spend that £10 on some energy, really, so that then I can buy cool stuff. Ooh, that's a big one. I'll have that, thank you. That will go towards one hungry cat. Actually, I've got enough things to make the next level. I should start making orbs, I guess. And nobody likes you, blue and green. Go away. So, Button Mash, as of this coming Saturday, will be 2 weeks away, and that's really, really, really close. That's horrifyingly close. I'm not prepared. And people keep talking about coming. And I wasn't expecting that. I know I wanted them to, but I wasn't expecting them to. And now I'm concerned that this is going to be huge, and I'm not going to be able to deliver something that is up to everyone's standards. But I think people's standards are probably going to be judged on the number of people there, so maybe it'll be okay. Also, yay! Treasure room! Well, just autopiloting there. Again, with the cool music. Love this music. Do 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 do. Yeah. So I got a bunch of stuff to make for Button Mash before then. I've got a bunch of Kickstarter rewards that need making. I got I'm making trinket doodads, coasters, and the like, that kind of thing, out of well, they're called hammer beads in this country. They're called perla beads in America. So whichever brand you might recognise. They're good for pixel arty type things. If you're not familiar with them, Google them. They are excellent for pixel art, so perfect for us. So I'm going to be trying to craft stuff like that, and my Saturdays are going to be spent at the local Fab Lab, which is actually what I wanted to talk about today. Probably not going to get to talk about it as much as I thought I would, and I'm backtracking a long way here. I could have gone a better way around, couldn't I? So Fab Lab, yay, that's a really great place. It is not the fabulous laboratory, it is the fabrication laboratory. And we've got one just down the road from us is the Fab Lab Airedale. That's really accessible for me, which is great. But there are a few dotted around the UK. They're not too close, but on the whole, they are all over the world. And if you have one near you, Google it, find out if there was one near you, and it's totally worth your while checking it out, because they're really cool places. Not all of them are publicly accessible, but generally speaking, they strive to be publicly accessible. So most of them should be available for you at least one day of the week for you to go in and have a look around. And what it is generally some sort of workshop full of CAD/CAM stuff. They've got a bunch of computers for you to design things, and then a bunch of machines that will turn your designs into actual products. So they've got the big go-to one for me is the laser cutter. They've got a big laser cutter in there. They've got CNC routing gear. They've got stuff for making circuits. So if you like playing around with Arduinos, that sort of things, you can do that. They've got what they got: the embroidery machine, CNC. What do you call it? What's one of those things that turns around and you can carve wood on it, but the machine does it. What do you call it? A lathe. That's what it's called. It's a lathe. That's the word. So I got one of those. Never used that. I would like to try my hand at seeing what I could do with a lathe at some point, though, because that seems like a cool thing to try out. And most of these places will have most of this equipment. There's a big list of them on. If you look up Fab Lab wiki, there is a wiki that's got a list of all of them in the world on it, and it tells you roughly how well equipped most of them are. And they've got like a rating system on, which is. It's 4 letters, A to C, and it goes from AAAA to CCCC is the quality of them. And the first letter, the first A to C, is how accessible it is to the public. You want to be looking for something that starts with an A, because that's open to the public for free. B is often a paid membership type thing, and C is often a closed thing, like it's attached to a university or something. The one next to me is actually a quadruple A, which is brilliant. If you go down on a Saturday, it's open for... Hello, that's a huge blue. Shame blue's worthless. Yeah, if you go down on Saturday, they're open. You can pop in, design anything, and use the machines. As long as you're using it for a non-commercial purpose and are fully willing to share your designs with the world so that other people can recreate what you built, you can make whatever the heck you damn well please. So... I've never done anything particularly ambitious there, and I really do need to, but at the minute I've got things like... At the minute the big thing is getting... You can buy... You can buy sort of mixer glasses fairly cheap, actually, if you buy them in bulk. And then the laser cutter can engrave cool designs on the side of them. So I'm just buying big batches of those and putting like gaming designs and put the Button Mash logo on them, so... They're pretty nice. The other thing I need to make is lots of t-shirts. Told you about them before, sort of stencil and bleach kind of job. I need to. How is not one big yellow dropped? Really? Not one? Do I want to take a downgrade in shiny size? Yeah. So yeah, I need to make a lot more T-shirts. Oh, the Airedale one has also recently got itself screen printing. So at some point in the near future, we should be doing that. That seems like probably the optimal way to make the Mastronaut T-shirts that we've been promising for so long, rather than paying someone like £10 a pop to make them, which could get cost prohibitive. Yeah, that probably would. Yeah, that would. If we want 16 of them, that's going to rack up a hell of a bill, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think we'd rather go the screen printing route. So I got my man Suresh working on a vector graphic artwork for that, which I rather thought we already had that, but also it would be trivial to make one. I don't know why he's spending time slaving over making one. I'm pretty sure I could make one in 5 minutes, but hey ho, I'll leave him be. Maybe I should just tell him he doesn't need to be slaving over it. Maybe that's probably the good idea. At any rate, yeah, they should be able. Yeah, that you can then put in a vinyl cutter, because they also have a vinyl cutter. That cuts that out, and then you stick that on the screen printer, and you do your screen printing. And in theory, we should be able to run off a big batch of T-shirts for the cost of the T-shirts. And if you check Amazon for plain blank T-shirts, they ain't bad, which is how I make my own T-shirts, because they're very, very affordable. So this is Gremlins. Most T-shirts, if you're buying them with a design on it, you're paying for the design. Cost of materials is nothing. Right. So what do I want? I got Gremlins, which means I want a better sword than my current one. No, not Pet. Go away, Pet. I want that. That seems like a good combo. And I probably want the shield that you never see. Someone a while back was asking, well, what's my gear? And someone said, oh, he always wears the Barbarous Thorn shield. It's like, no, I got a Crest of Almire and a Grey Owl out. I just spent like several months where I forgot to change it out. You want to see my gear? I'll show you my gear. People occasionally ask about my gear. There's my shields. I got Barbarous Thorn, Crest of Almire, Grey Owl out, Exalted Honor Guard, which is pretty as anything, but I wish it was useful. Well, I suppose it's piercing, but this is my piercing, and this one's real cool. And my Ancient Plate, which... who uses that? You want my armor? My armor pretty much boils down to Divine Mantle and Skulver Coat. Working at some point, someday soon, I will turn that into a Snarby Coat, and that into the... whatever you call it. Let's have a look at... what's it called? Heavenly Iron, that's what it's called, because my helmets are Heavenly Iron. Mercurial, Borg, Cat Eye, a Snarbilax, and Ancient Plate, which I never wear. Actually, most of them I never wear. At the moment, I'm still leveling that. I don't think I ever did finish leveling that. No, I should probably level that next. For the most part, it kind of always fell down to... that's my Shadow hat, that's my Elemental hat, and that's my Piercing, was always my pretty much go-to. And I do like wearing the... I do like the Heavenly Iron, it's a cool hat. Tell you what, let's finish the level wearing the Heavenly Iron just to mix things up, because I said I never change my hat. I'm going to do that. Yeah! Just to be different. So we're going down one more floor, and I'm going to keep rambling on about Fab Labs for a little bit, just because they are cool places. My mate's much better at building interesting things there than me. One day he just went to his B&Q, which is sort of DIY place. I don't think it's anywhere else outside the UK. Picked up a bunch of wood, turned up at Fab Lab, came home with a whole set of shelves tailored to his own kitchen. So now he's got a the entire wall of his kitchen is covered in a variety of different size and shape shells. He's knocked up in 8 hours in the Fab Lab. That's really cool. Made a camera mount. The fact is, because of the whole idea of sharing, you can take other people's ideas and just make them. Because everybody who makes something at Fab Lab, their plans get shared with everyone, so you can access anything anyone else has built. Assuming he has done his bit and filled in the relevant paperwork, you should, in theory, be able to get the plans for his shelving and his camera mount as well. And if you wanted to recreate those using his plans, you could. I have not done anything anywhere near interesting enough to warrant sharing plans, so I think they would rather I did share the plans, but come on, I'm etching Aperture Science on the side of a glass. It scarcely warrants my putting the plans up on the internet for everyone to see. I think. I don't know. I shall I shall get my words right, and then I shall have to ask them precisely how major a project needs to be before it is documented. Because I never feel like mine are worthwhile. Anyway, yeah, it depends how creative you are. Even if you're not creative, yeah, like I say, nick other people's plans. Go on to, there's a great website that documents loads of stuff that uses CAD/CAM stuff, and it's called thingiverse.com. And it's got loads of plans for things that you can make with 3D printers. For Fab Labs, typically tend to have 3D printers, laser cutters, routing machines, all the usual jazz. If it's a machine that's at the Fab Lab, you can probably find plans for making cool stuff with it on Thingiverse. Hi guys, what's going on around here? Is this one of those? No, this isn't one of those fireplaces that heals you up, is it? Just a few more tests. Just run-in tests. Just science. Doing science. Aperture science. No? Just mineral science. Mineral science. We do what we must because we can. No, not quite as catchy, is it? So there's a button. One button. So yeah, like I said, they are all over the world. Check it out. It doesn't matter what country you live in. There's a damn fine chance that there will be one. Saw them all over. They're all over Europe, all over Africa, all over America. There's like 6, 7 or so in the UK. I don't know about. I didn't look that thoroughly, so I'm not going to list off every country in the world. I'm not sure about sort of Asian markets. I didn't note that, but I would be very willing to suspect there will be some somewhere around. No, one I did pick up on actually did catch my eye because it's one of the I'd love to live there one day kind of things that I keep saying is Boston, Massachusetts. Turns out they've got a really great one there. If you're in the Boston area, check that out. It's like just a short jaunt from what was it? The Orange Line Back Bay train stop, I think it is. Back Bay Fens train stop. T-line stop even. Sorry, it's not a train, it's the T. So yeah, just hop on the Orange Line, head down there, and they are open Monday to Thursday from like, what was it, 7 in the morning till 8 at night or something silly like that. No, 10 till 8. Is that? Can't remember now. It's open a lot. Is quite honestly. You don't really need the opening times, do you? But look it up. It's open a lot more than the Airedale one. I mean, I'm happy with once a week at Airedale. That's only open on Saturdays, but. And again, like I say, every single one is different. Some of them are attached to universities and private things, and then some of them are really open public. Massachusetts clearly has Boston, Massachusetts, for there are a couple in Massachusetts. Clearly has one of the best ones. Airedale's still a very, very good one. So check them out. The Boston one's actually tied to MIT, so that probably explains a lot. And I shall now decline Chicosinio. Chicosinio wants to do Elite Vanna. No, not today, thanks. I got a video to edit. So, about that lockbox. Oh, come on, it'll be a giggle. Let's have one of them. Why the devil not? There goes all my energy. I ain't got much left now. Ugh. Good job there's nothing to spend it on anymore because they've gotten rid of everything that needs energy, so hey ho. I got a ton of sparks of life that I seem to be accumulating faster than I'm using. And yeah, not much else. I'm trading with other people for cool stuff. So gourmet prize box. Let's see what's inside the box. Tell you what, if I hung on to it, it'd probably go for more than the value of the item itself. What we got? What do we got? Confetti and a blue hat. That is, isn't it? Got one red power star, purple power star, and a blue battle chef hat. I don't think that's very valuable, honestly. I think I lost money on that one. I think I lost a lot of money on that one. But if I hang on to it for long enough, and they don't run the promotion all the freaking time, it might be worth more. I would really, really have liked one of those cleavers. Dang it all. Anyway, I think that'll do it for today. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. That helps me out a bunch. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike and tell me why you didn't like it. And please do subscribe if you're not already. Whoa! That's one more thing I meant to mention. What with Button Mash coming up so soon, I am genuinely very, very seriously considering taking a 2-week hiatus at the end of this week. I don't like to do that. I mean, I didn't even when I took a week out to PAX. I pre-recorded a week's worth of content in advance and made sure I didn't miss it. But this time, this is like more important than PAX. I'm running it this time. PAX, all I had to do was go and enjoy it. This thing is something I've got to organise. And I genuinely feel like I'm going to need these 2 weeks to properly sit down and actually make sure that everything's right. And if I have to spend 2 hours of my precious free time that I don't actually have a lot of on an evening making videos, I think I might end up letting a lot of people down here. Either that or driving myself completely insane. One of the two. So, as of the end of this week, I might continue to do patch notes if there are any patch, because they're quick and easy actually. But beyond that, I may take a step back for 2 weeks. Although one of our intended projects for Button Mash is that we would like to live stream it, so keep an eye on our Twitch channel around the day of Button Mash, because there's a good chance everything that we're doing might actually be streamed to the internet, which would be a really, really cool thing to do. I'd really like to make that happen. So keep an eye on that. If you want to be a part of Button Mash but aren't in the country, or just can't get here for whatever reason, you could quite potentially still be a part of the action, which I think that would be a really nice thing to do. Anyway, yeah, probably, almost certainly, gonna take 2 weeks out just so I can actually get t-shirts made, because obviously I've got to cut all those stencils out by hand for each t-shirt individually. That's like 9 t-shirts I've got to make at least, I think. And then everything else, and I've got to put other plans in place, got to talk to people, make sure stuff's happening. It's a lot of stuff to do, and I'm going to need the time. Sorry to do this to you. I hate missing time, but this is 2 weeks I genuinely, absolutely need. Sorry again. Thanks for watching. I've been John, and I'll see you next time.